Alright, this is the left rear brakes. This is the left rear emergency brake cable. And you can see that there are two pieces of metal here. They're clamps that hold the brake cable to the backing plate. Now this particular clamp right here, I don't know if you can see that very easily, but there's a little notch right in here that hooks on to a small groove in the sleeve on this cable. So when these are put together, that notch in this plate fits into the groove here and helps secure this. There is a small felt pad that goes in between the two. So I'll put that in there, and I'll put the cover on top and slide the appropriate bolts through. It enters from the back of the backing plate. So I slide the bolts in. It enters from the back of the backing plate, and then bolts pierce the backing plate, putting on the appropriate lock washers and nuts. There we go. Nice and snug. Make sure the cable's free. Get hung up. Now, the brake shoes are assembled very similar to what they are in the front, with the appropriate clevis pins and the springs, with the addition of the emergency brake lever right here. This emergency brake lever will fit in to this brake cable as such. So this will come up onto here. Now it's one thing to note that there are two of these connecting plates on each of the brake shoes, and you might be able to see that there's a difference in the width between the two. This side right here seems to be a little narrower and gives you more clearance for the brake cable. So make sure you put those on the back. On this particular shoe, we have a connecting rod that goes from the front brake shoe to the back brake shoe, so when you pull the brake, emergency brake, both shoes will then be pressed against the drum. This is held in with a small cotter pin. On the end of this connector between the two is a small spring. It's sometimes easier to put the retaining clip for the shoe on to hold the shoe while we work on it. These are very similar to the ones we used on the front brakes. There we go. Make sure the spring is on. This is a similar spring to the one that we used on the front to hold the two brake shoes on. Hold on there, nice and tight. And I'll put the brake shoe retainer clip on this side. On there. And the last thing to do is, or what order you choose to do it, is to put this clip in on the cleavage pin. Now I've bent it up a little bit. It makes it easier to get onto the pin on the back side. And once it's on, I use a large screwdriver to pry it, to bend the clip down. Seems to work pretty well. You may want to visually check it to make sure. That is in place. There you are. And then if we pull the cable, we should see the brake shoes move.